So, normally we take a drive for these things, but this thing makes a lot of noise. So we're just gonna sort of have a walk around and try to reflect on what this Holden, because I still can't call it anything but a Holden, meant in the United States. It was as fast as a Corvette, pretty much the same power as a Corvette, and you have back seats like a Corvette doesn't. But one thing that this doesn't have, and we didn't talk about it in the review, was its trunk. Which, that's right, it's old school GM. You can't get from the trunk to the side of the car. It's in the glove box. And it's electric. The trunk of these things are, this is it. You have this big box here, and you can kind of see into it, and there's a donut underneath with a pretty unique type of like wheel on it. But this was all you got. So honestly, a C6 Corvette is going to have way more space in here. You know, you just lift up the rear gate of a C6, there's plenty of room in here. This, all you really have is space for your car cover, which is what this is. The previous owner, it's interesting, I broke the seal on this thing. The previous owner bought a car cover for this, and I guess it was stored inside and they never used it. So this is one of those fitted car covers that's made for the car. So this is made for a GTO Holden. So you get that. Yeah, we'll go around to the driver's side. I keep thinking these are aftermarket because I grew up when everybody had spent a lot of money to have clear tail lights, and by the mid-2000s companies were just putting them on, and then the second your parents start doing something, it stops becoming cool. The wheels themselves, the wheels and tires, if you would really have a 500 horsepower car that you were made to make numbers, you wouldn't run wheels and tires like this. I'm guessing the previous owner did this for show and made this car to demonstrate, yes, you can get 500 horsepower out of a 6-liter without needing forced induction. And maybe for the previous owner, that was all they wanted. And this thing would go on a dyno, it would make nice power, it would make people put their fingers in their ears, and that would be it. Are these seats really American sized? Well, I'm an American and I fit quite nice into them, but just like, if you're big, this thing may be a problem for you in the way that the C6 wouldn't, because this is a little bit, actually no, this may be the same width as a C6. Joshua, what do you think? About the same size, or do you think about the same? Yeah. The shifter, I'm not sure if the previous owner had a short shifter or not. I like how it feels. And they also eliminated the skip shift. I find first and second to be right. The second is pretty much 1.5. When you see when I made the video, the Monday morning video, I was just going 1, 3, 4, 6. That was it. It did have the skip shift, and the little light still comes on the dash that says 1 to 4 shift now, but you know the skip shift has been deleted, so just use whatever gear you want. I keep wanting to call this European style. You can get the camera closer and point inside. Your window controls are in the center, as is your traction control, which I have yet to touch. And then you have one lock, but you have one, where'd I put the keys? You have one lock. You have, there we go. You have what? Does my door have to be closed? Shut up. There it goes. So it's sort of weird the first time I get in from an American standpoint and see that there's nothing on the doors. The passenger door has nothing. The driver's door just has your lights. I mean your lights, what am I talking about? Your mirrors, and then that's it. Your lights are on the dash. Ooh, you can run your fogs as running lights. So you can do that weird thing, and whoever, I don't know if you can hear them, the previous owner put those LEDs with those little fans in them. Yep, you can hear them. If you get that right up to this, you can probably hear the little fans going. Now, you gotta be like this, and then you can hear them. And also, if you're looking for your dash controls, you know your lighting for your instruments, they're right here. Instead of having its own dedicated button, it's right here on your headlight controls, but it's not a slider, it's a toggle. So you gotta go dimmer, brighter. It's all the little things, I guess, shout out to anybody from Australia, maybe this is what you're used to, but those little things to me just make it quite strange. Little things that you'd have to like learn. Like your cruise control is on the left side. It's on the left side stock. Now your turn signals of course are there, but your cruise control is there too. In America, it's always over here or it's always on the dash. And I wonder if they just like modded one because, you know, it's broad and made left-hand drive. Did they mod it and then just use one of these stalks over here and just made it go up and down, and that would have been the left? Right now, people in Australia are just screaming at their phones or computers right now, like, don't you know anything? That feels like GM. Hey Brian, make a case for buying this car. In the meantime, making fun of the rear view mirrors. I wanted this car to succeed so much in the mid 2000s. I thought it was kind of neat, but it's just one of those cases where General Motors competed with themselves. It's like the story of the Fiera all over again. A really cool car that deserves its own appreciation, but lived in the shadow of its bigger brother.